Welcome to the Soulpreneur Way. I'm Darlene Turriff. I'm your host today. Our guest is the magnificent Maria Brophy. Heads up, she and I know each other quite well. And we will definitely be talking about her new book, COVID, A Love Story. But let's open up. Maria, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, your business, and anything that you want to share? Please
Okay.
go.
All right. Well, my art is business, and I'm in the business of art. And I have been an entrepreneur since I was a little girl. My first business was a lemonade stand. I know you don't know this, Darlene, but it
No.
was very successful. I made a lot of money doing it. It was a professional lemonade stand at concerts. So much fun, met a lot of famous people. But that was the 90s. I met my husband in 96. He's an artist. I was in the corporate world. I actually had a corporate job at the time in insurance. Decided to quit that and just work with my husband. And so he and I have worked together for the last 25 years. And we've traveled around the world with our son, and we raised a niece also. We created this amazing life of adventure and travel, and we really designed our life intentionally. And I'm very proud of that and amazed at it as well because I look back now on decades of my life and I go, wow, I can't believe all the things we did. And then, of course, almost 4 years ago, we had a major tragedy where my husband got COVID, was on a ventilator, was not going to live at all, but then there was an absolute miracle. And that led me to writing this memoir about the miracle and the story that's just hard to even believe it all happened the way it did. So that's it in a nutshell.
I love it. Thank you, Maria. Yeah, one of my questions that I really wanted to hit was, and you answered already. So I'm just going to go. How was that then going from corporate to working maybe with your life partner, but really working for yourself? Was that something that you had a plan for? Like, tell me a little bit about more how that transition happened for you, and I really want to, as you're answering that, what would Maria back then think of Maria's life now? Like, if you can try and just time travel for me back 20 years, what was
Wow.
that like for you?
Well, I always had this dream of having a life of complete freedom. And to me, complete freedom is I do what I want, when I want, where I want, with who I want. And let me just be clear, it's all legal stuff I'm talking about. The things that I want in life are very rich experiences. I love being surrounded by artists and writers and surfers. I married a surfer. I'm a surfer. I love just a life of adventure and excitement. So I dreamed of that life for a long time as a kid, but didn't know how to do it. However, so when I quit my job, very scary. I quit a very good paying job. I made excellent money. I quit that to make zero until I
Okay.
figured out how to make money being the agent to my husband. And so it was kind of a crazy thing that I did quitting it. I had a little bit of a plan. I had a big dream, didn't know how I was going to make money, had some ideas. A lot of those ideas didn't work out, but we learned from them. And my husband and I are very successful now. Let me just say, so the Maria today, if I go back and talk to Maria in 1998,
Yep.
1999, when I started thinking about leaving my job, what I would tell that Maria is, all those dreams you have of having a life of freedom, you're going to get that plus so much more than you even know.
Beautiful. Thank you, Maria. That's what I was looking for. And that I know a little bit because you and I do know each other a little bit then. Um, okay, before we get into the good stuff, and I do want to talk about your art money success. So I do want to talk about how you do make money right now, and then the plan for the new money, which is I'm excited to be a part of. But okay, so two things I want to share with my readers. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's listeners on this format. But what do you think made the biggest difference in your business and in your mindset over the what was if you could name two things that made a difference that in your business growing and in your mindset growing? So that might be the same answer, but I don't know.
Being very clear on what I want with a lot of fuzziness on how to get it, but
Yeah.
being very clear on what I want and not giving up until I get it.
Can you describe that? Because I always well, you and I talk about this, you know, the language, especially as female spirit-led entrepreneurs, that I don't find the words that describe not giving up the same as some of the male words. Like, how would you describe that? Tenacity? Uh,
Tenacity,
yeah,
commitment, when I falter, because you do falter, no matter how
yep,
hard-headed or stubborn you are, you do falter. You allow, and to me, falter means I get depressed because it's just not working out the way I wanted it to. I feel depression, I feel frustration, I feel like a failure. But I only let myself feel that way for like a day or two
yeah,
and I allow it and I go, okay, I'm
yep,
going to let myself feel like crap and feel like a failure today. Tomorrow I'll clean it up. And so then I'll give myself time and then I pump myself back up and say, okay, we're going to try another way. Now, that door was slammed in our face. That thing failed. Let's find another way to make it happen. Different people to talk to, different ways to do it. And I've done that with everything from the art business,
yep.
selling my husband's art, to writing this book, to writing books, to, I've written a lot of books. And everything I've tried. And I do a lot of things. I do a lot of things because I'm ADHD, I'm hyper, I'm super creative, and I
Yes.
love to start a lot of projects and I have to battle myself to finish them.
Yep. I love it. I love it. Okay, so perfect. The mindset is start again. Start again, be tenacious to do that. So can you tell me a little bit about maybe your first book, but really the way that I guess you together as a couple make money, but when I think about you, I think it's about your the way you lead artists in believing in themselves and making money from their art. Can you talk to us a little bit about that, about your coaching services, your other book
Yes.
and
And
things?
what led me into coaching was together, my husband and I figured out how to take his art and make money off the same images again and again and again. Something most artists don't know how to do. We figured this out a good 20 years ago. And we have different strategies for doing it. So artists started coming to me for advice. And back in 2009, I started a blog where, because so many people were coming for advice, I thought, okay, I just got to write all this stuff out
Yeah.
and just say, hey, read my blog. And so every artist question would turn into a blog post, and I had a lot of answers. And to give you an example, like when Drew and I have figured out how to take like a painting he just finished called Trestles, and we have this process, this strategy, and he'll do the painting. We'll sell the original painting for like $6,500, but where we really make the money is off of the art prints and the licensing. And that one painting will make us, it could make us $500,000 over the next 15 years. And we've done that with many paintings. So that's the main way I make money is through the art business. But I started coaching artists and then I started a mastermind for artists a
Yes.
year ago. And I love it because and it's an online group, and it I love it because I just get this thrill out of empowering people with knowledge, strategy, and encouragement to help
Yeah.
them let go of the BS in their mind that says, you can't do this.
Love it. Thank you. That's what I wanted you to talk about. Love that. So let's move into the big project. We're moving right into the what's next, but it's not what's next. What's now? Talk to me about what's now. And I all know the secrets, but my listeners don't. Uh, Tell me.
You know all the secrets because you've been through you for your listeners. This woman, Darlene, and her partner Nicole literally dragged me through the mud. If it wasn't for you and Nicole, seriously, Darlene, this book would not have happened. I mean, and that's just the reality. And and hey, it should have come out a year ago, whatever. It didn't. It just came out this week. But it came out, and that's a good thing. It's called COVID, a Love Story. It's a memoir. It's a 1 year period of time when I went through the most horrific thing with my husband when he was dying in the hospital, came out of a coma, paralyzed. And it was my battle to get him alternative treatment because what the doctors were doing wasn't working. And he was dying, and he actually did die, and he came back. And it's all about advocacy. It's about faith. It's about never giving up. It's about being stubborn and believing in things that look impossible, that will never
Yep.
happen. And I don't even know how I did it all, but I tried to break it down in the book.
Yep.
And
And
it's a big book. It's got a lot to it, but I
some
designed
of
it so
it,
it's an easy
yeah, for me,
read.
it's not a big, but like it really reads so beautifully. So to do that, and I just want to say that I love the way you've described your book. For me, when I share and try to get people to go buy your book, I always describe it as, if you want to believe in miracles, because yeah, for me, this is your story. So you're telling a story, but the most powerful part in here is getting into, you share in such a vulnerable way how you came to believe the same way you do in your business, but turn that into a reality. So you created a miracle for me. And so it's like, I love this book. I love the story. I love working with you. And yeah, it's the thing you do here is how you do business, right? Like it
But
feels
so much
like,
more
yeah,
because it
yeah,
was life or death. And
it was
and
okay.
and
Getting
I
goosebumps
I didn't
again.
have 10 years or 5 years to figure it
No,
out. It was like now or
focus.
never.
Yeah,
Well, the thing I really want this book to do for people is show what the family members went through when they couldn't be with the loved ones that were put on a ventilator with COVID. In America, it was 1.6 million people died that way, and most of them died alone. And I want people to know what the families went through, and I want to be a voice for the families because I joined a lot of survivor groups and
yeah,
survivors of losing their loved one this way.
yeah,
They can't talk about it. They are so traumatized. They they can't write a book about it. They can't. I don't know why I was chosen. I feel like I was chosen by God to write this book. Or I wasn't chosen by God. Let me take that back. I chose myself to go through this horrific thing so that I could tell this
yeah,
story for other people. And let me tell you, telling it was painful. I cracked three bottom teeth. This
yeah,
book, writing this book made me grind my teeth. It made me sick physically, because I was reliving the story over and over. But I had to, like, there were times when
yeah,
I said to myself, what the hell am I doing? Why am I writing this book? It's killing me. But,
yep,
and then I would say, because I have to. That's why I'm here. That's why I was given that experience.
yeah. Beautiful. Okay, our time's almost up. I really want to invite people to go by. This is the simplest way to get to know Maria, but also be sure to grab anything else because you're an amazing person with a big, big passion. Can you tell us a little bit about what is next in store for you, how you're going to be promoting COVID a Love Story, and how people can go and find you and support you and be a part of your world?
Thank you for that question. Yes. So I do have some speaking gigs lined up. And the really exciting one is I leave in 3 days for Croatia. And I was actually hired to speak about this for 7 days on a luxury cruise with a very small group of people. And it's like a dream come true. First of all, going to Croatia, I've always wanted to go, but to be able to do this for, be able to share this story in this way. And I do plan on speaking to a lot of different groups, to group anybody that needs to hear it. I've had some medical groups ask me to speak at medical conferences, and actually not just me, but my husband also, because he can share his experience as the patient. And that's really important for people to learn from what we went through. There's so many lessons in there. So that's what's next. And it's happening. And the way people can find me, you can go to my website, mariabrophy.com, or you can find me on Instagram, which is also my name. My handle is Maria Brophy. And those are the two main ways to find me.
Perfect. And I believe all your books are on Amazon. So she
Yes.
is a prolific author. So go and grab everything she's done. You're going to want to get that. Thank
Thank
you, Maria,
you.
for joining me here today, as always. Can we just put our intention for this book out into the world? You know me, that I love when we do this. So it is our desire, and if you're a listener, you can help that make this happen, to begin with selling 100,000 copies of COVID, A Love Story.
Mm,
And you're a part of that. All right.
I
Thank you so
love
much.
that. Thank you,
We love it.
Darlene. You're the best. Thank you.
Thank you, Maria.